Dear students of 12th standard, today we are going to learn our second lesson on saying please, written by A.G. Gardiner. Children, Alfred George Gardiner was born at Chelmsford in Essex in 1865 and he died in 1946. He started his literary career as a journalist. He was editor of Daily News, London. He has taken the pseudonym Alpha of the Plough. Pseudonym means a pen name. His essays are uniformly elegant, graceful, and humorous. His uniqueness lies in his ability to teach the basic truths of life in an easy and amusing manner. He raised the question of morality in everyday life. So, in short, we can say that A.G. Gardiner was a journalist, biographer, essayist, and a social reformer. His essays are rich and graceful and focused on the basic truths of life. Some of his best known writings are The Pillars of Society, Pebbles on the Shore, Many Furrows, and Leaves in the Wind. The theme of On Saying Please is, in this lesson, the writer points out the value of good manners in social life and emphasizes the importance of courtesy and politeness in daily behavior. He shows how polite speech and manner sweeten the atmosphere around and how discourtesy and ill manners spoil or pollute it. So, children, now let's begin the lesson on saying please. As you know, please is used to make a request more polite. You know, the theme of courtesy and benefits of being courteous to others is beautifully presented in this essay. In this regard, you must be remembering 4 magic words: please, sorry, thank you, and excuse me. These are small words but of great importance. They are the words of courtesy and good manners. Children, we are social beings. We all live in society. We must respect our society and their values. Society likes its members to follow good manners. We like to live peacefully in the society. Good manners develop positivity in our mind. It creates happy relationships in society, no matter where we are, at home or outside. We should be well behaved, well mannered. Every action has a reaction. A good act gets a good reaction. Similarly, a bad act gets a bad reaction. Student, in this lesson on saying please, the writer presents an incident from a city office where a liftman threw out a person from the lift because the person told top, just top. He did not say top please. He did not say you please take me to top. Simply the word top without using please made the liftman feel hurt and inferior. The liftman thought this person insulted him, so there started the quarrel and he threw him out. It was only a question of the please. The liftman was punished for his violent behavior. The liftman was punished on the ground of breaking a law by hitting a passenger. The law did not recognize the damage of his feelings. Students, if we experience a material or physical loss, the law protects us. Bad manners are not put in a category of legal offense. Law of materials can be proved, but how to prove the loss of self-respect which cause mental pain? The concept of being hurt changes from person to person. Yes, some are more tolerant, some are less tolerant. Any law, court cannot judge such cases. Although there is no law court against bad manners, but there are very strong social traditions that teach us to be tolerant, to be polite, to be gentle and human. It is the voice of humanity and that brings civility in us. It is our self-respect that makes us respect the self of others. Children, our society does not like our annoyance, irritation, anger, resentment to be expressed openly. In order to stress the need of civility and good manners in our daily social life, the writer has presented an impressive, well-behaved character, that is, a bus conductor. A bus conductor who was pleasant and helpful with all in the bus. Children, once a writer boarded a bus to go somewhere, and eventually he came to know he had no money that day to travel. The considerate conductor did not misbehave with the writer. Instead, he gave the writer a ticket to travel. When the writer wanted to know where he should send the money, the answer came from the bus conductor: he must meet him someday. Luckily, the writer found the coin in his pocket and at last managed to pay the fare. That fact did not lessen the glow of pleasure who is so good natured and action had given him. The writer cherished the joy of such pleasant behavior. The writer was impressed to see how patiently he made his passengers comfortable with his cordial and pleasant behavior by assisting them by all means in the bus journey. The same conductor stepped on the writer's toe by mistake one day. Though it was by chance, just an incident, the conductor apologized to the writer. No offense could be taken after this sincere apology. The liftman lost his patience and peace of mind, whereas the bus conductor remained morally upright. By losing temper, the liftman faced more serious problem by breaking the law. The writer says, there is no law that compels us to say please. There is a social practice much older and much more sacred than any law who inspires us to be civil, and the first requirement of civility is that we should acknowledge a service. Please and thank you are the small change with which we pay our way to social beings. These are the little courtiers by which we keep our life running swiftly. Good manners begets respect in people's mind. Good behavior brings pleasantness in others. Poet Keats said that he always felt cheerful when the weather was sunny, and Gardiner says cheerful people came to us like the blessings of sunny weather. Similarly, politeness and kindness of the bus conductor brought cheerfulness in the atmosphere of the bus, making the passengers happy. That's why the writer says, politeness is not a waste but a very good investment. Dear children, the polite conductor was no longer on the writer's travel route, but he must have carried its cheerfulness to another route. The writer is not hesitant to write a piece in praise of an unknown bus conductor. The English romantic poet William Wordsworth also learnt lessons from the humble little gatherer, and the lonely mood ordinary people too could learn from a man who elevated his modest job through good temper and kindness. The writer says the only penalty one has to pay for being rude is that people will call him an ill-mannered person. Discourtesy should not be responded with discourtesy. The writer says rudeness of the liftman with the passenger to be replied by the excessive politeness. This sweet revenge could give him moral superiority. The writer calls it the victory over oneself. Trying to stress the root of the lift, the passenger's behavior, the writer guessed the passenger might have misbehaved with the liftman, being provoked by some other's ill treatment on him, and finally passed on his annoyance being rude to the liftman. The writer says good manners and bad manners are infectious. They spread fast, they spread quickly. They create a chain of reaction having impact on the others. We should adopt the quality of being civil, respectful, polite, gentle, considerate, so that this influence the others to adopt the same codes. Being polite and gentle, we may not find the material advantage, but we always have the spiritual victory. In this regard, the writer remember a story of Chesterfield. Once a man crossed the road of Chesterfield in London. That time that man told that he will never give a road to the scoundrel. But Chesterfield very nicely and politely said, "But I always do." And he gave a way to that man to go ahead. So this is the way of taking the revenge. If our liftman behaved politely, it was called his victory. And this is the story of On Saying Please. So children, I hope you have understood the story. Okay, bye.